Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself and Exile Magpie.
Hello.
Back again. Big news.
Yes.
Big news.
Anyone who hasn't been living under a rock for the past 6 days.
Well, I'd say for the last year now.
Yeah.
Since the announcement, something like that. Yeah, but the last 6 days, the Microsoft Activision deal has been blocked by the UK government.
Yep. The
CMA?
Yeah, CMA, which is there for basically to make sure that monopolies don't happen, has turned around and said, no, you can't have this. And I think we both get to do a little told you so dance.
I know.
We called this shit.
I was even doubting for a little bit, because there was a little bit of time I was like, you know what, this is going to go through just to fuck with me.
But this is the thing, when they first announced it, we went, no, they can't, this can't be, this is a monopoly now, this can't be let to go through. So, little TLDR for anyone who has been living under a rock. Microsoft were trying to buy, this is after acquiring Bethesda and a whole bunch of other studios, acquire Activision Blizzard. To which a lot of people went, no, you can't.
Yeah.
This is wrong. You are now just buying up all the competition. You're becoming a monopoly, and monopolies are bad. To which Microsoft's response was, it's okay, our games are shit anyway, and don't worry, we'll give them 10-year contracts.
Yeah.
To play these games. To which the CMA literally turned around and went, no. But not for the reasons everyone else was, like, well, if they get COD.
Yeah.
They didn't actually give a shit about that.
Yeah, it was all about cloud gaming.
Yeah, it was basically because Microsoft already has a massive advantage of cloud gaming, this would make them literally be the only dog in town. And that is a situation you do not want in any sort of customer focused environment, because then they can just go, well, we can charge whatever the fuck we want now because we're the only ones selling it.
Yeah, Microsoft this is in UK alone. In the UK, Microsoft, for the cloud gaming, they account for 60 to 70%.
Yeah.
Of the
market share. Which means adding Activision Blizzard would have basically tipped it over the edge. They would have been the only market in town.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so, for the past year and a half since they announced it, we've been saying, like I've been personally saying, like, the deal as is not going through.
No.
They will probably allow it through caveats of, yeah, you got to chop this off and chop that off and split all this. But Microsoft were constantly coming around, like, the whole thing has been a gigantormous waste of time, resources, and has only made Microsoft's game division look bad.
Oh, terrible.
Because the whole defense, Phil Spencer's defense of why they should let it through was, well, Sony should be fine without COD anyway because all our games are shit.
Pretty much. That they make better games than us. That was their defense. That was their literal thing of going forward.
That was their defense for spending $69 billion. Now, as we go on to other news articles, I think that $69 billion would be better spent elsewhere.
Well,
namely on the studios that they already fucking have.
Which is something that we've been saying for a while, which is like, ever since this was announced, this has always been a weird one to me. Like, because Activision, I've said it before, like, for Activision alone, other than COD, because they don't use any other IPs, what are you buying Activision for? Right? Other than, unless you're buying Blizzard as well, but you're not gonna be allowed to do that. Not even the US are gonna allow you to do that.
Yeah, there's a massive FTC lawsuit to block this as well, and Activision Blizzard, Bobby Kotick especially, has been ridiculously petty, childish, and throwing his dummy right out of the pram because apparently the UK now is not.
It's the Death Valley of technology, or
Death Valley of technology, and also is against innovation because and also job creation. Because when I hear the word merger,
I think more jobs.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I clearly think of. No, what usually happens with a merger is they go, oh, we don't need all this staff now. Half of you can go fuck off.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Here's your redundancy. Here's your pink slip. Goodbye.
Yeah. Get out. Don't let the door hit you on the backside. If it does, we'll charge you for the repair.
So most likely, Microsoft are going to fight this again. They're going to appeal.
But the problem is that
the thing is, if they do that and they fail,
it's done.
It's done. They can't. If they still want to do it, they have to wait another 10 years.
But also, here's another thing. Even if they win, it is back to square one.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we can pick it up where. It's like, it is literally back to square one where they have to argue the pros of allowing this merger to go through. So the odds are, one, the appeal's not going to be successful because the vast majority of appeals
the CMA
do not get.
The CMA do not. I think they've done it once in the last 10 years.
I probably can count on one hand in its entire lifetime that it's actually had an appeal.
It's very rare that they ever
So this is what we're dealing with, and I can guarantee you the EU's authority and the American authority, the FTC.
Well, the FTC didn't want this going through anyway.
But they'll be looking at it and going, "Yeah, we've got proof here. We're just going to follow." Like I said, we'll just follow the Brits.
Yeah,
we'll just follow the Brits. It's fine. They did all the hard work, and we'll just use their reasoning for our reason.
It's just it's mind-boggling. I think you know what the worst part is for me personally was when they first announced it, they paraded around like it was done and dusted.
Yeah, that it was a done deal.
Like they had all the signage, they had all this stuff, and you spent all that money on that, and you can't use it.
Yep.
It's like, oh
my god. The thing is,
my god,
the amount of money wasted on this, and it is solely because Microsoft can't be asked to actually
can't make a game. No, it's not even that they can't be asked. It's they can't. They actually cannot do it.
Which we'll get onto.
Well, we'll get to in 5 minutes. Proof. Because this is just absolute. This is a joke.
I mean,
they cannot make a game.
The thing is they've got all these studios, they've got all these amazing IPs, and they are just letting them die. They are having them released in poor conditions, poor product. Like Halo Infinite, the Halo franchise deserved better than Halo Infinite.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even a Halo fan, and I'm like,
Halo fans deserved better than what Infinite gave them. To be fair,
yeah.
I mean, what I've heard, it's okay, but it's not. It's not Halo.
Yeah, it's
apparently.
No. But that's the thing. They build it as a live service, and there's been fuck all.
Yeah.
To support the live service thing, they undermined the sales for the game by basically taking the thing that everyone buys the game for, mostly the multiplayer, and selling that as putting that separate as a free to play.
Yeah.
So the only thing selling the actual game was the campaign.
Yeah. To which most of it's going to be diehards though.
Yeah. Which it's just like, and they were hoping that the live service fucking battle pass system was going to be their massive cash cow. Problem is that if you don't have enough on like you're not going into an empty market. There are a bajillion other battle pass systems that are done better than Halo Infinite's, and it's fucking so obvious that even I can tell.
Right. So.
And the pettiness, the absolute pettiness from the likes of Bobby Kotick are just, it's just, how do you justify your pace it, Bobby? Like, you are just a petulant little child right now.
Yeah. So, back to the article. This is actually off the government.
Gov.uk.
UK. So this so the final decision to prevent the deal comes after Microsoft proposed solution failed to effectively address the concerns in the cloud gaming sector, outlined in the Competition and Markets Authority (CMA) provisional findings published in February. So if you remember, we did actually talk about this. in February we
That they
talked about the fact that the merger looked like it was going to be blocked due to the cloud gaming section.
And they weren't happy with what Microsoft were putting forward, and also that Microsoft were just basically giving lip service.
Yeah. Microsoft entered into a $68.7 billion deal dollar deal to buy Activision, one of the most popular video game publishers in the world, in January. I wouldn't go that far. Most popular because it has COD, but that's about it. In January 2022, the CMA launched an in-depth review of the deal in September 2022, and in February 2023, provisionals found that the merger could make Microsoft even stronger in cloud gaming, stifling competition in this growing market. Now, this, again, we talked about it in February, but this is the thing that Microsoft came up with the 10-year contract deal. This is so basically what Microsoft were arguing was like, well, if we give them a 10-year contract, they can have this game for 10 years, and in that time they can make their own version of COD or whatever popular game. They can do their own version of it.
Yeah,
that's basically what Microsoft.
And we'll give also like 10-year contracts for the cloud gaming stuff to Nvidia and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's what they were.
That's
what they were going with. Now, in a sense, from Microsoft, it's quite a smart idea if it works. Unfortunately,
it didn't.
The people on the other side kind of have to be dumb to accept that contract.
Because everyone who has issues with the deal takeover basically turned around when Microsoft started saying, well, we'll give you this 10-year contract. Everyone went, so what happens after 10 years?
Exactly.
What happens after 10 years? Also, there's nothing stopping you releasing a shit version of which, considering...
Which it's Microsoft and they would do.
Shit version on the other consoles. I mean, I'd hate to see COD on the Switch. Because...
Call of Duty's coming to the Switch. No, it's not.
It will be the most god-awful port you'll ever witness. Like, it will make FIFA's ports to the Switch look like an actual competent and effort put into it instead of the lazy one that is usually given out.
So, obviously, like I said, the people that they were telling this idea to, the only way it was going to work or get through was if they were dumb.
Yeah.
Because the minute you actually start thinking about the actual 10-year contract, you can see the holes in the plan.
Now, in Microsoft's defense, the way our government acts, and I mean the actual the cabinet, the way the cabinet,
what you see on the TV, what we see on the TV, you would think our government are incredibly stupid. Because most of them are.
Yeah, the people in the cabinet positions are. But the thing is, though, is that the way the UK government works is that we have people in lower cabinet positions and ministerial positions, and
these are the people that you don't see.
These are the people you don't see, and a fair few of them actually know what the fuck they're talking about. The problem is because they know the actual fuck they're talking about, they can't be put into positions of major power, because then they'll make the other people look stupid.
I mean,
that's what's supposed to happen. It's what's supposed to happen.
Our Prime Minister right now, you could put a jar of peanut butter next to him. And I generally think the jar of peanut butter will come across smarter.
Yes.
Give the Prime Minister a bit of credit. Put a tie on the peanut butter jar. Put a tie on it.
The peanut butter jar would definitely be more likeable.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
And that's peanut butter.
Not a lot of people like peanut butter.
No. In fact, you could put Marmite.
You could put Marmite.
Marmite is more unifying than Richie Sunak.
What's it called in Australia? It's not called Marmite. For anybody who's Australian,
you'll get to it eventually.
What's it called? Vegemite. There we go. That's what it's called. Vegemite. Vegemite. That stuff. Over here, we hate it.
All love it. There is no middle ground.
There's no in between.
And that is more uniting than our current Prime Minister. But anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this. So the UK cloud gaming market is growing fast. Monthly active users in the UK more than tripled from the start of 2021 to the end of 2022. Now, that's mainly because of COVID.
Yes, but also we
but
started from a very low number as well.
We started from a very low number as well. But cloud gaming was always going to be...
Yeah,
the minute cloud gaming became a thing, it was always going to
cloud gaming is going to be eventually a thing.
Yeah.
We have our issues in regards to ownership, etc., etc., but more choice is always good. Yeah. It's always better. Microsoft have a massive head start to it compared to their competitors. And I don't mean just Sony, I mean everyone else.
Everyone.
Even Apple. Because Microsoft have got stuff now like for... Well, one, the Game Pass works for both Windows and Xbox. Two, they've already trialing stuff with like Samsung TVs, so all you need is a controller. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So Microsoft is already like... If we were like making this a race...
Oh yeah, Microsoft nearly finished.
Say it's the 400 meters. Microsoft are already like 100 meters down the line, and everyone else is like literally just getting into the starting blocks. Like that's the sort of advantage Microsoft already has, and that's prior to getting Call of Duty and Activision Blizzard and everything they have.
It is forecast to be worth up to £11 billion globally and £1 billion in the UK by 2026. By way of comparison, sales of recorded music in the UK in 2021 amounted to 1.1 billion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's there just to be like, look, the gaming market is still the most lucrative entertainment.
The gaming market is the biggest market in the world. Why? Because one, us gamers are kind of stupid at times, and two, there is a game for everyone.
Yeah. The deal would reinforce Microsoft's advantage in the market by giving it control over important gaming content such as Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. The evidence available to the CMA indicates that absent the merger, Activision would start providing games via cloud platforms in the foreseeable future, which is, well, yeah, of course they will. The cloud allows UK gamers to avoid buying expensive gaming consoles and PCs and gives them much more flexibility and choice as to how they play. Allowing Microsoft to take such a strong position in the cloud gaming market just as it begins to grow rapidly would risk undermining the innovation that is crucial to the development of these opportunities, which we kind of said was going to be the problem, just not about cloud gaming.
Yeah.
It wasn't cloud gaming that we said. We were on about just straight up monopolising.
Yeah.
But
we did state that you can't just look at like, oh well, Sony.
Yeah, you can't do what Microsoft were doing and being like, oh well, Sony have a market share of something like this.
We argued that Sony, yes, they have American development companies, developers and all that, but Sony's a Japanese company.
Yeah,
and a lot of their development companies are in Japan. If we're looking at the we were going off the developer market. There would literally be Microsoft and not really anyone else.
There'd be Microsoft, then EA, and then
in America there would be Microsoft and then EA and 2K, and that's it.
Yeah.
And Microsoft, considering everyone else they've bought, would be bigger than those two combined.
Aye. And considering the way the American internet, like how you guys deal with your internet providers, I have no idea.
They do.
Like we think it's bad over here.
They move house.
We think it's bad over here.
It's not bad in America. Like that. Apparently, for some of them, they literally to change a server provider, they have to move house.
That's just
which
terrible.
is just ridiculous.
But anyway, I don't know.
So
how
we were arguing slightly different, but we have the similar sort of like, well, it's a Microsoft would have too big a dominant position in a certain thing,
West.
In a certain thing to allow it to go through. And because we don't trust UK and American internet provider to actually offer a stable cloud service, we were like, oh, that's a non-issue.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't really talk about it. But yeah, yes. I've lost my train of thought. I still don't. It still baffles me.
Well, I thought that they'd be able to just easily push us through.
That they'd be able to push this through. The minute, in all honesty, like, I don't blame him for putting the thing in, because you got to remember, right before they put the offer in, or at least the whole thing about Activision came in, so their stock just dropped.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Bethesda stock, after the announcement, Bethesda stock just literally fell through the floor.
Yep.
And so did Microsoft's.
Yep.
Because a lot of people were betting on red, and it actually came up black.
Yep. It's one of those. It's Microsoft doing what feels like they've been doing
for the past
since the Xbox One came out. After Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Because
instead of actually making decent games,
if we're going to be honest, right, when the Xbox came out, it was an okay console.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
But as a first console,
for a company, it was good.
Like,
you know, get your feet wet.
No one should compare anyone else's first console to the PlayStation, because Sony hit that one out of the park.
Well, number one with the PlayStation was like, Sony got really pissed off at Nintendo. Yeah. So Sony were like, you know what, fuck you, we're gonna sell you. Sony got really, really pissed off. That's why the PlayStation was so good, was because Sony was just like, no, we're making a console. We're going to make a console that's going to just destroy Nintendo, and it did. I mean, it killed Sega. They killed Sega.
Unfortunately, yeah. Eventually, they did end up to be the death knell for Sega, because. But. Like I say, you should never
you should really compare.
It's an unfair comparison. For the Xbox, for a first time launch of a console, it's actually console. Not bad.
Right, and the Xbox 360, they seem to have learned, like, all right, this is the market.
Yeah.
This is what we got to do, and all this sort of stuff.
I mean,
right? And everything seemed to be. I mean, granted, there was some meh things, but all in all, a good console, good games, and they seem to have learned, like, what the market is, what they can and can't really get away with, and all that sort of stuff.
Not all of them, because there are issues still regarding stuff like...
I'm going to get to that.
Memory expansion.
I'm going to get to that. And then the Xbox One came out. And I was actually looking forward to the new Xbox when they were announcing it, because obviously I was going to get a PS4 anyway.
Yeah.
So that was always a given. I was going to get a PS4. But this was going to be like, I might get an Xbox this year, because the Xbox 360 was really good.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. And so they announced the Xbox, and it was just so bad. And I feel like ever since then, they've got this strategy of, let's put all our eggs in one basket, and then let's just watch the bottom of that basket fall out.
Yes.
And that's their strategy. That is actually their strategy.
I think also the strategy is, we don't actually want to put the effort into making games, so we'll just buy companies that...
I feel like that's part of the problem as well. I feel like they don't know how to make games, they don't want to make games, and so what they've decided is that for some strange reason they're going to call it they're being competitive by buying the competition.
Yeah.
Which is no. That's like, I'm sorry to Xbox fans, by the way, just to let you know, Phil Spencer is a liar. That is not being competitive. That is that's the opposite.
Yeah, it's also not solving the root cause of your problems.
No, it's ignoring your problems and just letting them fester.
Which, shockingly enough, is coming home to roost now. Also, they're just wasting so much money. I think, to be perfectly honest, right, I want Xbox to do well. I want Xbox to succeed, because, like I've said
I'm getting to the point now where I'm just like, you know what, if Xbox dies, I don't really care.
Yeah, because I'm
kind of just sick of this now. I'm sick of watching them. Hindrance. I'm sick of them doing the same thing over and over again, of them just being like, yeah, this is gonna be, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and this, that, and this, that, and you go, okay, then this all sounds really good, and then you watch them, and then they get halfway through the process, and you go, this is gonna fall. This is gonna fall out of the bat. All your eggs are gonna fall out of the basket again. I feel like I'm Charlie Brown, and Microsoft are peppermint fucking
holding on to
the ball. I'm going to kick the ball, and they're going to swipe it out just before I do it, and I go flying again. Yeah. That's how I feel. Every time. Since the Xbox One got announced, every time they've had a big announcement, it's falling apart.
it's just like everything from a higher management position at Microsoft Xbox. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, because none of it makes sense.
It generally says something when Amazon Games is releasing a game in a better state than you guys are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but like New World got released and it didn't release very well, but that's still better than Redfall.
No,
at least you could actually play the fucking
which we
game.
will segue into a minute, but I think we need to finish off our thoughts on.
And you're spending all your time trying to buy a fucking multi-billion-dollar company, which you don't need to buy.
But the thing is, right, is the Xbox One. Yes, it had all the issues with its launch and all that because they got so full of themselves that they thought they could just do whatever the fuck they want.
They did what Sony did with the PS3.
Yeah, except at least Sony did stuff with the PS3 that didn't, fundamentally fuck over their user base. Oh. Like Microsoft wanted to do, this is always online DRM everything.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
But that's what I mean.
Right? But they've just like not. But the Xbox, the big thing about the Xbox One, the thing that undermined it and literally let this PS4 smash its face in, because let's be honest, the PS4, while it had a really good library, it's not like groundbreaking or absolutely phenomenal, unbelievable, like every game's a belter. It's not PS2 level of this library's just unreal.
Oh yeah.
Like, it could have competed. It has the IPs to compete with it. They just didn't because the games weren't good. And they just do not have that fundamental understanding that it doesn't matter what your console's like.
Yeah,
if the games aren't good, no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, we've said this before. You can have the most powerful console in the world. That's fantastic, but you've got no games. Yeah. You've got no games. Or you do have games, but they're all available on the Xbox One.
Let's be honest, right? This was the launch of the PS5 and its current process. Like, it is the perfect time to try and release
something
amazing, good games, because PlayStation 5's library is not the best.
It's not very big.
It's not very big. Yes, there's I like Gran Turismo 7 and Elden Ring is amazing, but Elden Ring's not a PS exclusive. You're like God of War. PS5 exclusive. Yeah. There's probably God of War and
I'd say Horizon.
Horizon,
what's the other one? Oh, Returnal.
Returnal is pretty good, but again, like that's.
I wouldn't say it's a console seller.
It's not a console seller. That's
I think God of War. God of War is probably your console seller. For PS5. And
so, it's like if
Microsoft
actually put their effort into actually making really good games, they could make up the damage, the loss that they had for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And they haven't. All this time and effort that they could be spending on developers like Arcane and Bethesda Ninja Theory and all the others, right? All these other developers that they've already acquired, the time and effort that they could have spent on making sure that their staff had the resources and ability and time to make Redfall as the best possible game it could have been, and everything else. All the others, instead, they've spent time trying to acquire another giant conglomerate company. And also, I don't think anyone should have any belief that Microsoft taking over Activision Blizzard
would fix
Activision Blizzard, because the releases from the companies that were under Bethesda have been worse since the acquisition. I mean, hell, Tokyo Ghostwire released on the Xbox Series X in a worse state than it released on the PS5.
Right. I think Deathloop as well. Did
Deathloop is the same. Like, how? I mean, Deathloop I think it released on the same time, but like...
No, because it was... Deathloop was a
Oh, was it a time exclusive?
Because originally it was supposed to be on release with the PS5, but it got put back.
Yeah. But like, how can you have a game release... I mean, obviously, you know, The Last of Us released on PC in an absolute terrible state.
Oh, actually, that's something that we can talk about in a little bit as well. Well, I mean, we will be getting onto it with Star Wars, but we'll get there when we get there.
And it's like... Redfall was like the first, like, spotlight, here's why you should buy an Xbox. For quite a while.
Well, and since Halo.
Yeah, since Halo. And it's been...
it's not good.
Not good.
The reviews are
so terrible. Let us segue into that.
Yeah, it's bombed. This game's bombed. I'm kind of good because I do like Arcane.
I wanted this to do well.
Arcane's one of my favourite studios, like developers. I really like their games.
I wanted this to be a good game.
I think...
And...
After seeing the gameplay in that, as much as I was optimistic, and I was...
Yeah.
The signs were there that this wasn't
going to be good.
This wasn't going to be the type of game that you're expecting it to be.
Yeah.
It's not even, to be fair, after looking at the reviews and watching videos on it and stuff like that, it's not even a good Borderlands.
No.
And that's you know, Borderlands is like the bare bones of a looter shooter nowadays. And like if you can't even be better than Borderlands.
The fact is, right, is I've seen a whole lot of clips. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there that look out of date.
The last time I saw a game that looked this bad was Cyberpunk.
Do you know what I'm going to say? If even worse, Fallout 76.
Fallout 76. Yeah, true.
What's even the thing is though, right? The difference between Fallout 76, Cyberpunk, and this is, from what I've read from the reviews, is at least with Fallout 76 and Cyberpunk,
you could still have fun.
You can still have fun with Redfall, but just not the way that they intend.
Yeah.
But the issues are that Fallout 76 and Cyberpunk, the core gameplay meshed together.
Yeah.
Like the core gameplay, like if they fixed all the bugs in that, it would be a solid game. Maybe not like in Fallout 76 an amazing game, but a solid game. Redfall's like nothing seems to work together.
Yeah.
It just seems to be a whole bunch of like different mechanics thrown together,
again,
and it just doesn't mesh.
This is another thing. This is something that we've learned from like EA, because EA did it with BioWare, with Anthem. They'd never made this type of game before.
Yeah.
And it shows. Like you can tell. Yeah, they've never done this before.
Yeah,
this is.
They've never done a live service before.
No one who's worked on this game has never done this type of game before.
And it's just so disappointing because like Arcane can make really good games. You just have to look at the
look at Dishonored. Look,
Dishonored.
Just the first
Dishonored
one alone is just fantastic. Then there's Dishonored 2, and you like Prey is absolute. It's chef kiss of a game. Prey. Like if there's a game that everybody should play, Prey. That game is fantastic.
And then
then Microsoft's bought them, and this is what we get.
Now, granted, some people justifiably will probably say this game was probably in the works before Bethesda.
Most likely. But you would think that, like, because most likely this game, if this game was in the works before Microsoft bought, this game was most likely going to be on all platforms, apart from Switch.
Which is fine. My point to those people who counter with, well, this was probably already in development, so you can't really judge Microsoft on it, is Microsoft should like I say, this is the first spotlight.
Yeah,
from Bethesda.
Yeah,
from a Bethesda studio, really.
It feels like they just like. Did you not think ever since Starfield we saw the gameplay of Starfield, right? Redfall kind of just got pushed to the side, and Starfield got a lot of attention.
Yeah,
like for a game that's not out, that's even been pushed back now, and is still getting more, still got more attention.
Yeah.
than Redfall.
The point I was making though is that Microsoft should have made sure that this game was in its best possible condition.
Oh, they were never going to do that, man. I'm
And
telling you,
the thing is, right, here's the thing. Couple of months ago, there was someone who leaked that they were going to push out in Redfall and Starfield, and they were both in really poor condition, and they were not going to be in good condition when they released. Now, a lot of people go, well, it's a for Starfield. Well, it's a Bethesda game. Of course, it's going to be buggy as hell. I don't think. I'm not thinking Skyrim bugs. I'm thinking Fallout 76, game breaking, unplayable, absolutely, literally.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Like where people literally go, how the fuck does this game even function? How does it even load beyond the right? That's what I'm worried about. And I'm like, you can't now say Microsoft are have good ownership of these companies if they allow this sort of shit to come out in these conditions. And also, like, why are they putting out a game that people were clearly going to say was it like a marker of like, this is what you expect on the Xbox?
Yeah.
And it had to come out crap. I mean, we said this when they announced that Redfall was going to be 30 frames per second on Xbox, and I'm like, why? What not in this time? Like, yes, I'm not a person that really cares too much. I do actually care about frames because, like, the more frames, the smoother the experience, the better the experience. And I'm really like, graphically wise, I'm not that fussed.
I'm fine with graphics. You know, I think the graphics that we got now.
As long as it looks nice and aesthetically pleasing, I'm really not fussed. Like, I look at Call of Duty high fidelity, ultra realistic graphics, and I'm like, you really don't need to go that far.
Yeah.
This really because
you don't need to go.
We are at the point of diminishing returns regarding that sort of level. But Redfall's not even graphically that demanding from the looks of it, and it's coming out in such a horrid state.
Yeah.
Like there's I'm like, why are they like Dishonored looks graphically better.
It looks like BioShock.
The first one.
It looks old.
It
Redfall.
does.
It looks old. It looks like it's been out for years.
And that's before before I start getting into what I've read about the gameplay and that.
I've seen a lot of the normal problems with these type of games of like
animations not loading.
No animations, scenery not loading in, and all that sort of stuff. It's just it's just a shame. It's a shame.
I don't know, because we've both said we're both Sony fanboys, and I know some people will probably go, "Oh, I expect you to be dancing in the streets and all that." And it's like, no, I'm actually upset.
Yeah,
I'm actually disappointed.
I've literally just said Arcane's one of my favorite studios.
Yeah,
and this is just like, honestly, Redfall was the game I was going to buy an Xbox for.
Yeah,
because it's Arcane. All I was waiting for was the reviews. I was waiting for the reviews to come out and be like, it's a good game. Right, as soon as I can get one, I'm going to get one.
We should have seen the writing on the wall.
I should have realised when they stopped advertising it.
They stopped advertising it. They had an embargo for the reviews for an hour before launch. Now, yes, some people will argue, Bethesda always do that. Not this close to release.
Yeah.
Deathloop was 2 days before.
Yep.
Doom Eternal was, I think, a full 4 days. So, like, when Bethesda are confident in the game, they will allow the reviews to come out.
I think Skyrim was like 2 days before, and that game
Skyrim was I think a week or something.
Yeah, but and that game's buggy. It was buggy as fuck.
But
they were fine with that.
So there was that. Then there was the IGN article, which showed absolutely horrendous gameplay, and while part of me is like, well, that's just IGN.
I was like,
that's just IGN.
Yeah.
Another part of me was like, so wait, Bethesda are happy for this to go out. Why are they happy for this to go out?
Liars and charlatans, man. Liars and charlatans, Bethesda.
And then obviously
Like,
the rumors that he was not in a good state, and then they came out with on Xbox it's gonna have to be 30 frames, and it's like there's all these red flags firing up. Like, if this was a Battlefield, I'd think I was in feudal Japan during the Sengoku Jidai. The amount of flags that were flying around.
I'm dreading the next Tango Entertainment release.
I don't even know if there is going to be another Tango.
Because they did the Hi-Fi Rush.
I know. But here's the thing. Hi-Fi Rush didn't do well, according to
because
sales.
it's on the Game Pass.
And here's the thing. Redfall's not going to do well either.
No one's buying the Game Pass for Hi-Fi Rush. No. If they actually thought that Hi-Fi Rush was going to make gangbusters because it was on the Game Pass.
I love how the defenders of Xbox are basically saying, well, we still have the Game Pass. Here's the problem. If Game Pass has actually been losing games because of licensing issues, because, heaven forbid companies pay the license and actually decide to continue on paying for the license. Yeah. Heaven forbid that. And 2, if Game Pass has fuck all games on it that are actually decent, you're in deep shit. Now, granted, I think stuff like the Halo franchise.
It's got all the games from the Xbox 360.
Yeah, there's enough of a back catalogue that I'm not sure that they'll have that issue. But
this is why I've always said that. Whereas the Game Pass is fantastic for us as a customer thing, as a business standpoint, it is not. It is not a good idea. Because you are not making the money that you need to make
to
on
keep
the
it
games to keep it going. Because you're not going to get enough people subscribing to it.
Yeah, I understand, and I totally agree with you in that sense, especially with like more recent releases from Microsoft. They are not sellers. They are not even good enough to sell the Game Pass to be able to justify it. I mean, I would probably argue Hi-Fi Rush is probably the best
at the moment
for it.
Would you? But would you buy the Game Pass?
I would just buy. Do you know what I would just buy? Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, exactly.
I would just buy Hi-Fi Rush. I would just buy the $20 game, $20 or $30 game. My concern is that Microsoft make bajillion dollars anyway. They can afford to make a loss on the Game Pass. I'm starting to think that Microsoft will not be making another console.
Maybe.
I honestly think that they will try to do what Google tried to do.
Oh, like cloud gaming.
Yeah, they will go full into cloud gaming their next console.
I mean, it's an idea, but like
the problem is that the same issues for the Google Plus.
Yeah. It's all about
Stadia.
Internet. Yeah.
The problem with Stadia will still be here because the infrastructure is still, for a lot of places, shit.
Yeah.
But that's just that's the only thing that makes sense in the fact that, because they clearly don't care about console sales anymore. No. They really don't give a shit. Because if they did, they would want these games to be console sellers, and they're not.
Yeah.
And so they're basically their advertising is all like, I can't remember the last time I saw an actual consoles advert for Microsoft. I can't remember.
The Xbox Series X, they did have a advert out because I remember watching some football matches and it was on at half time. So I do remember there being.
But I see a lot more for the Game Pass.
Oh yeah, there's tons for the Game Pass now. Although actually even the Game Pass is diminished compared to how much PlayStation adverts you see. They're everywhere, especially here. Like they're on buses. They're on fucking. It's like it's a war between Genshin and PlayStation. Which one can get the most ad space?
Yeah, I know. I'm just waiting for a Genshin Impact advert. Oh no!
I'm
waiting for a Genshin Impact advert on a bus.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's going to happen? We're going to get a Genshin PlayStation 5.
Yes.
That's what with the actual covers. We're going to get those.
Yeah. Or they'll sell the covers.
That's what I mean. Like the actual covers.
Yeah, the solid covers.
We'll get the cover. Get official Genshin, Sony, PlayStation 5 covers. That's what's coming.
Obviously, if there's a riding Shogun.
Oh, yes. I will buy that one.
Oh yeah, like Redfall State. I'm like,
she's S tier waifu for a reason.
But back to Redfall. I'm sick and tired of games coming out in a poor state, and two.
Yeah, the flags were out from the start for Redfall. The minute they said it was going to be like a live service game, the minute they went on about it being a 4-player shooter, Left 4 Dead kind of clone, and then all of a sudden it changed to Borderlands. The minute the even like the actual style of the game, like there's a lot of flags that when you actually look back, you go.
Well, then you go. Well, it's Arcane. They know
they've got a track record.
They've got a track record. They've earned our trust, and that trust is now sunk to the bottom of the sea.
To be fair, I don't actually think like my trust in Arcane hasn't gone. I still love Arcane. Yeah. They gave me Prey and they gave me Dishonored.
But the thing is, the next game they announce is going to be there's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of me that's going to be like, well, you showed us Redfall and that was shit. So,
I'm like, I just want to literally go to the like Microsoft offer to be on your board of directors to go. No, this is a bad idea. We would be much cheaper than $69 billion.
Actually, we would save you all the money that you've just spent on legal fees to spend $69 billion, where we would just be like, how about you just don't do that and spend that $69 billion on the companies that you've already got.
Yeah. You know, Arcane's making a multiplayer looter shooter. Throw money. You'll need to throw money into that.
Yeah, that'll need money. It looks terrible. It looks awful.
We got people saying that it's not in a great state. Throw money at it. Give them time.
Bethesda's making Starfield, and they've lied again. So
they say it works.
You're gonna need to put money into that to make sure it does actually do what Todd Howard says it's gonna do, which it won't, because it's Todd Howard, and he's a liar.
Yeah.
And he lied.
Yeah.
Again.
We would save, like we say, our offer is there. We will be the people in the boardroom that go.
All I'm asking is for just a little bit more than minimum wage. That's it. That's my wage.
Look, $40,000 a year.
$4,000 a year. Yeah, there you go.
40,000.
Yeah, I can live with that.
$40,000, maybe 45. Well, we would
45 if our decisions actually work.
Yeah.
Actually work and they make a profit on it.
Yeah.
Right. Then we get like the extra 5,000.
So yeah, 40,000 with a 5,000 potential bonus.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. See,
there you go.
See,
right.
One. That's much less than
$69
Bobby
billion. That's a lot less than Bobby Kotick.
We'd probably be on less than the likes of Todd Howard.
Yeah.
And like everyone on the board.
Exactly.
Like,
and literally, our job would just be to tell you, maybe don't do this.
Yeah, this is a bad idea. This is potentially a bad idea, and this is why.
Yeah. So yeah, the offer that we gave,
and unlike Bobby Kotick, we wouldn't go in a massive hissy fit if someone.
When you told us no, although if we did tell you no, and then it happened, what we said was going to happen, like this, we do get to do the "I told you so" dance.
Yes.
We do get to do that.
Yeah, we get to do that.
That's in the contract.
Front of you.
Yeah. In front of everyone.
In front of everyone, in the board, with a big poster behind us saying, "We've told you so."
No, it goes a whole lot. You click your fingers, we get like party poppers come out, fireworks, a big screen comes down on the very moment that we told you it's not a good idea. A cheerleading squad comes out, does their little thing, the whole thing, a marching band comes in, the whole thing, the whole whole
shebang.
Yeah. Make a full entertaining show out of it. That's what we should do. It'd still be cheaper than spending $69 billion.
Trying to acquire and then fail to acquire a company. Because hell, you would have you would not even like we would have been even less than the amount of money you lost on the stock exchange.
Exactly.
pays for itself.
It's a good thing that nobody actually watches these videos now, because I do get a bad feeling that somebody would watch this video and go, "All right, then I'll call your bluff." Like, oh no.
It depends on the company.
I suppose, yeah. Although, if it is literally like my job is just to say no, maybe we don't do this. It's a little bit sketchy. Then I can do that.
Yeah.
I can be like, no, don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah, and this is why.
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine. I work in a sales environment. I know what can sell and what won't.
And I work in an environment where people who are above me come up with rules and regulations that I'm literally like, this will never work. So
we're perfect. See, we're perfect for this job.
We have experience. We have experience in this because experience is what's important when applying for a job. Obviously. Anyway, so
we're perfect for this.
So speaking of games in poor condition,
Star Wars came out as well.
Yeah,
and that was at least
Jedi Survivor.
At least for Star Wars, at least the game actually worked.
The game's good.
The performance just not so good.
Yeah, when the game actually works. When the performance issues are a problem. And in the year 2023, we should not have
these
problems. Yes, I know I do say like you have to make your game on PC for a multitude of ever expanding permutations. But still you should be able to release the game in a state that it actually works.
Yeah.
Like, we're not asking for like the game to run as well on a 14 on a like a 5-year-old graphics card as it does to the modern 10. We're not asking for that. We just want it to work.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, why? Why have you done this? Like,
why are you so dumb?
Why? I mean, just hold it back for a month.
Is it an open world game?
It's the same. I think it's the same as
because Fallen Order. It wasn't an open world game.
I think it's the same as
Fallen Order
in that there's multiple worlds
that you go
to.
Yeah, it looked like
which are pretty big. They are pretty big and expansive worlds.
It's just what I've seen. It just looks like they've changed it to a big open world.
They might have done, but I'm pretty sure there's been from the trailers and what I've seen. There's clearly a scene in Coruscant. And I'm pretty sure the game's not set all there.
No, it's definitely not.
And there's a couple of other biomes. I'm like, these must be on different planets.
Okay,
sort of thing.
No,
so there may be like a huge, like one where a lot of the time is spent in this one place, and it's really big. That may be true, but I can't say for certain because I don't have it because fucking Amazon haven't delivered my fucking game.
Amazon. Yeah, because I only asked that because like I was watching the adverts and the adverts I've seen it all seems to be in one spot, and it looks.
I think that
it's because of the advert, and this puts me off it because of the adverts. What's the one in games? What's the one colour that I can't stand?
Brown.
There's a lot of brown in these tags.
There's a lot of brown. There is a lot of brown.
No.
But like I say, I've seen like
you've seen Coruscant in there.
I've seen stuff like there's definitely a scene that is clearly Coruscant.
Right.
And there's stuff like Imperial bases and all that. There's a lot of different variation in colour and all that from what I've seen. But yeah, all the trailers is
just everybody do yourself a favour and buy Dead Island 2. It's actually quite fun. It's dumb fun, and there's really no story, but it's fun. All right, and you can't tell me that smashing zombies in the head is not fun.
No, because it is.
Because it is very fun. Anyway, back to Star
Wars. So it gets released, and there are certain issues on the PlayStation 5 version.
There's issues on the Xbox.
There's issues, but the main issues have been on PC. The game has played poorly. There's also a couple of issues where like certain monsters have like an insta kill attack, and apparently even if you dodge it, you can get if your animation drags you into any part of that attack, it'll instantly class it as.
Oh, you're insta kill.
No matter where you are, it will literally teleport you to where the attack it's supposed to land.
Oh.
Yeah, so, because there's these, I can't remember what they're called, but these like frog monsters, which have a big long tongue, and they open the mouth and they try to grab you, and that's a potential insta-kill. But they flash red, like in the previous one. So I've seen this person, like, dodge the tongue, but because his animation takes him to the mouth, it literally just throws him back to the tongue, and then eats him. And I'm like, yeah, if that happened to me, I'd be pissed.
Oh, I see.
I'd be really pissed. It's like, look, I know the game. The way the game wants you to avoid it is that sideward roll. But if you jump over the fucking thing, it should still fucking count.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
It's like, games are getting released in ever worse states. I mean, granted, they're not Fallout 76 bad, but nothing can release as bad as Fallout 76.
To be fair, we haven't. I wouldn't say that we've had a really bad one for a while. I mean, Redfall and this has been
Redfall.
been
But
worse,
no, right.
though.
For PC,
For PC,
it has been.
It's been terrible.
The AAA game releases have been diabolically bad, and some of them unjustifiably so. The Last of Us is one of them. It's just
Last of Us is bad.
Horizon
was bad. I know that much.
But The Last of Us, there was no excuse for The Last of Us to be released in such a state. They had plenty of time to make the port over, and it just annoys the hell out of me. It's like, the game works fine on a console that is fucking less powerful.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even justify saying, oh, well, we had to somehow shoehorn all this stuff in to make it work. It's like, but it's a fucking PC. Like, your average gaming PC now is on a level, if not more, than fucking a console at the moment. Granted, yes, it's around about £1,500 more.
Yeah.
But it's still in a better, more powerful place than the PlayStation 5 or even 4, which this game runs on. How are you? It's just annoying as hell.
Oh yeah,
it really is. It just annoys the hell out of me.
But I don't know. I feel like because it's the ports, I feel like it's like they don't care about it.
It's the whole attitude of, well, it doesn't matter if it ships broken. We can fix it with a download.
Yeah, well, that
and I know as a person like yourself who has grown up at a period of time when that shit wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
What, PS1, PS2? If the game was broken on launch, it was broken.
Alright.
There was no fixing it.
I think part of the problem is especially with the ports. I think it's because they are ports. There's not much like care put into it. If you know what I mean?
But
like they're like, oh no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I think because the games have already come out and done what they're supposed to do, there's not a lot of like.
It's also usually
like, oh well, we can get an extra. This feels like a lot of the times it feels, especially for the ports. It feels like, oh well, we might be able to get an extra £10. If you know what I mean.
I think also part of the problem is that they usually it's a third party that ports it, and the oversight is not as stringent as it should be.
True.
But again, that's not. I wouldn't necessarily blame the people doing the port. I would blame the people who gave them it and didn't do their due diligence of making sure that the port was done correctly.
Yeah.
Also known as senior fucking management. Again.
But that's that. Right, moving on. Since I don't want to talk about depressing things anymore.
It's just like we're in the year 2023. This should never happen again. This should not be happening.
Okay, so well, since we've been doing this for the last couple of months,
yeah,
now, there we go. I have a list of the games that are coming out in May.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fuck off. So first off, for the May 2nd, we have today.
Yeah.
We have Age of Wonders, Redfall.
Oh, Age of Wonders
4.
Yeah.
Age of Wonders 4 and Redfall.
Which
we've talked about. You know.
Age of Wonders Fall actually looks like pretty good if you're into your 4X strategy games.
Yeah.
So I may be looking at that.
May 4th, we've got Ravenlock, which is coming out on the Xbox.
Yeah.
May 5th, we've got Hogwarts Legacy for the PS4 and the Xbox One.
I honestly don't think that really matters.
May 8th, and this is the game that I think this month is the one I'm looking at. Yeah, this month is it's this one. It's Darkest Dungeon 2.
Yes.
That's the game I'm looking at. May 9th on the Switch, we've got Dakapon Kingdom Connect, as well as Midatum, I think. I have no idea what that is.
Midatum. I don't know.
Also, we've got Ys 11 or 9. Ys 9, sorry, for the PS5, which is that's a game that's been in. It's been coming out for a while.
Yeah, but that's another long running.
That's a very long running JRPG.
Yeah, RPG dungeon thingy.
Yeah. May 11th, we've got Funga, Melodies of Steel. And then on the 12th, we've got the big one.
Mm-hmm.
The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. The big one of the month.
Apparently, the Tears of the Kingdom has already been leaked and people are throwing spoilers everywhere. To which my response is, so you're telling me Ganon's a big bad, captures Zelda, and Link goes and saves her?
Is that what you're telling me?
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
That's the plot line to almost every single Zelda.
That's almost every single. That's like if somebody spoils the plot to a Mario game.
No, I mean, granted, more modern Mario games have. There's been some divergence to that basic premise, but most of them are still the same.
Yeah.
And the same with there were less Zelda games that involve Zelda needing to be to be
fair, Breath of the Wild, you weren't rescuing Zelda.
No,
you were defeating.
Yeah, you
Ganon.
were her. Yeah, you were her champion to fight Ganon.
Because in Breath of the Wild, Zelda's the one that's holding Ganon back.
Yeah, you're not rescuing Zelda, but you are literally the champion that's to defeat the big bad. That, is going to end up killing Zelda if you don't do your job.
On May 16th, we've got Humanity. That where you're the Shiina Emu.
Oh yeah,
we also on the 19th we've got Lego 2K Drive. Which is the one where you can build your own Ferraris and stuff.
Yeah, I've got Mod Nation vibes from that.
Yeah,
and I'm like, do I get it? Because it's not going to be full Mod Nation, which I wish it was, but it's not going to be.
On May 23rd, we've got Monster Menu, the Scavenger's Cookbook.
Okay.
On the May 23rd, we've got After Us, as well as for the Switch, the greatest game of all time, Farming Simulator 23. Yes. Amnesia: The Bunker is out on May 23rd as well. That's the newest one.
Yes, that is the newest one. So
I always get confused between Amnesia and Layers of Fear.
Amnesia is the one that's had the multiple different variations and fan games and there's a lot of Amnesia games.
Yes,
I'm just going to put that out there. Not that this is a bad thing because
hey, it is what it is. Also on May 23rd, we've got Miasma Chronicles, and that's coming out on pretty much everything other than the Switch. Lord of the Rings Gollum comes out on May 25th.
Yeah, that's kind of falling off of blooming. That's put on the ring. That's put on the wrong ring and just disappeared.
Yeah,
I've seen nothing of that.
To be honest with you, do you actually want to be Gollum?
No, not
in
really.
A game.
Not really.
No. Nobody.
Look,
it may be good. It may be a good game.
There may be some people.
But I've seen the trailers for that. I've seen the gameplay that they showed off.
Not yours.
No. I do not like the look of it.
No.
I do not want to be Gollum.
No.
In Lord of the Rings. I've never once thought, you know what, I would like to be in Lord of the Rings and I'll be Gollum.
I want to know how Gollum went from where he lived when he got the wrong ring to ending up in the Misty Mountains. Yeah. I want to know how that happened. No.
I've never once thought, you know what I want to be? I want to be some weird hermit that lives in the fucking mountains. That's mind has been completely warped by a ring.
Yeah.
I've never once thought about that. I've actually wanted to be an Easterling, but that's a different thing.
I mean, after all, you just have to look at some of them and go, yeah.
The Easterlings are cool.
I know.
Anyway, also 25th, we've got Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue for the PSVR 2. May 26th, we have Sheepy, a short adventure for the PC. And also on May 30th, on the PC, we have System Shock. Whether that comes out or not, I have no idea. Yeah,
I'm like, are you sure this is getting released on there?
I don't think
like the reimagining remake of System Shock. I mean, if it is, that's amazing. But if I'm like,
I would have thought there would have been a little bit more fanfare over there if it was coming out at the end of the month.
It's been in a weird place, like the development of System Shock. So I would not be surprised if it was delayed, but I also would not be surprised if it released. Yeah. It's that sort of like, what part of development?
What is happening?
What is happening? Because there was a demo that was released a few months ago, so like it does make sense. A few months ago, the demo gets released, and now it's been released. So
maybe I just would have thought there would have been a little bit more fanfare.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It's System Shock. I mean, it's not System Shock 2, but
I think because BioShock took all the limelight over it, people forget about System Shock. And also, System Shock 1 was a game of its time.
Yeah.
Like, the control system...
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not System Shock 2.
The control system was
if it's System Shock 2, I think there would be a bit more fanfare over it. Because there's a lot of people who love that game. A lot of people. I'm a BioShock fan.
But you understand that without System Shock and System Shock 2, you would not have gotten BioShock.
But BioShock is absolutely amazing. And actually, in all honesty, like even your diehard System Shock fans, you can put your hands... BioShock pretty much kicks System Shock to the curb. Like,
yes, but then also you have to remember BioShock came out quite a few years after.
I'm just saying it is a much better game. I've played both, and it is a much better game.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying. And I'm just saying you kind of have to admit it.
Yeah, the age of System Shock does show.
But yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out. I'll have to look for it.
Yeah,
because I kind of do want to play it.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of interested in playing it as well because I enjoyed playing System Shock, even though I knew System Shock 2. Even though some of the gameplay elements have aged
very much,
a
lot. Yeah.
So I'm wanting to know what they've done.
I'm just waiting. I think the games I'm waiting for at the moment. I'm a bolt gun. I definitely want to play that game. The Warhammer Doom game.
Yes! Yes, I will definitely.
I definitely want to play that.
I definitely want to play that.
Oh, actually, speaking of Warhammer, that actually happened this weekend.
Yes.
Warhammer Fest. It was cool. It was very cool.
The Tyranids look like they've gotten themselves onto more Eldar DNA.
Tyranids have decided that they're going to take a lot of crack and inject it straight into their veins because they're big and chunky.
Some of them have become like, oh my.
They've brought back the Screamer Killer, which is by far the best model out of all the new ones. Because the Screamer Killer is the one with the 4 claw things.
Yeah.
And the old model, it kind of looked like its face was in its chest.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look like that anymore. It looks badass now.
Yeah.
They've come out with some new models. There's a I think it's called a Psyker Hunter or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's basically the whole lore behind it is that it's got a taste for psychers, and it actually like really likes them. So it only goes.
It wants a munch on psychers.
It likes psychers, but that thing's fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah, I've seen pictures.
Good
of
lord!
That. I've seen pictures of that. It's like I look at that and go, well, yeah. If in the far future,
they've got new.
I hope I'm never.
They've got new Tyranids. They've got new commander. Yeah. Models now, so it's not just a hive tyrant.
Speaking of psychers, like your life is an absolute fucking hellhole if you are a psych in the Imperium anyway. And now these things are literally actively hunting you.
And then there's the Space Marines that they showed off with the librarian and captain in Terminator armor.
Yeah.
We've got the Terminators back in their sort of like it's like a new but much more retro sort of look.
Yeah, it looks like more like 4th edition.
Yeah,
Terminator
they look
armor.
really fucking cool now.
Which I've they look old school Terminator armor does look like a unit that can just literally shrug off tank shells and then just continue
And just keep
going.
walking. Yeah. They showed off. What else did they show off? Oh, the Tyranids. They showed off this big fucking eldritch-looking monster thing. Like it's got tentacles coming down it.
Which is your stereotypical.
It is a psyker.
Yeah, it's your typical stereotypical psyker Tyranid.
Yeah, it's this floating thing.
Unit. Yeah, the Tyranid psyker command units usually are very eldritch horror. A lot of it is xenomorph inspired. But when you get into like the Psyker and the
big main monsters, like the big main ones, they're
apart from the Hive Tyrant, a lot of them start going into Eldritch stuff.
You've got what else? Oh, I think a winged tyrant. That's one of the new ones. So it's a Hive Tyrant, but it's got wings.
Yeah, I think they did exist before, but I've seen the new models.
I think this is just a new model.
Yeah, the new models look. They look absolutely fantastic. But if you actually depicted them in real life, I'd be terrifying. I'd be crapping my
Because
pants.
you imagine that. So you know what a High Tyrant is. You're somebody like in the Imperial Guard. You know what a High Tyrant is. And then somebody went, yeah. By the way, we fought one of those the other day, and it was just like that,
except flying.
But it had wings,
and it was flying,
and it flew, and it ripped a Terminator in half,
like it was made out of paper.
And then they showed off the Leviathan box, which is going to be the new starter box.
Yeah.
So I think since 8th edition they've done a starter box.
Yeah.
For every...
They usually do have like a starter box.
But I generally think this is actually the
4th edition. I think it was the Battle for Macragge, which was Ultramarines versus Tyranids.
Oh, it'll always be Ultramarines.
And this one is it's gonna be Ultramarines and Tyranids. But like the size, the armies,
the actual size of the box, it's 2 full patrol, combat patrols boxes.
One Tyranid, one Space.
One Tyranid, one Space. So basically, everything that I just showed you at the fest, everything they showed you in the Liberty, all the models and that, all of them are in that box. And to be honest with you, they've cut the price.
Yeah, it's
£150 quid, which
considering the price for an actual army, usually it's like this is actual value because you get the actual 10th edition book, you get the two sets of patrols, all in one, and it's like holy shit. Because the one thing we always complain about is the price for
the thing that stops me from really getting into Warhammer.
It's the price of the models.
Is the price of the models, because I can't afford it. It's just not possible for me.
No.
But this $150, I mean, I wouldn't mind collecting Tyranids.
No, you've always wanted to collect Tyranids.
I've always wanted to collect Tyranids. Tyranids are badass. So there's that. You get the rule book, the 10th edition rule book, which is nearly 400 pages long. But it not only does it come with the rules, it comes with all the backstory that you need. If you want to follow lore, it comes with basically what they're going to start doing is story crusades, what they've called story crusades. So basically what this is if you play D&D or if you know anything about D&D, you're probably much more familiar with this. Basically the battles that you are in this book, and you can just do like a little campaign, and it's like technically you're kind of taking part in the story. Yeah. That's the whole theme that they're going with, which is really cool. But you can buy that separate, so you don't have to buy the rule book to get all this.
I mean, they've had before rules to make like your own campaigns, etc., using either maps or
but I think this is the first one that they've done that's like this is the story.
An actual campaign of an actual canonical event.
Yeah.
In Warhammer.
So because that's what Arcs of Omen was. That's basically what it is. It's just a big story campaign that fans can get involved with. Which the Arcs of Omen was really, really cool, even if it ended a bit sour for me. Look, the Lion came back. That's absolutely fantastic. All I'm saying is, nothing really happened.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they didn't have to do your boy Angron back.
They didn't have to do my boy bad. Like, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to two-shot him.
It is a Lionel. Well, didn't I say Lionel Johnson was going to come out and he's going to? I
knew he was going to beat Angron. I knew he was going to fight Angron. I knew he was going to beat Angron. I didn't think he was going to two-shot him. I thought he was going to be like a full-on brawl.
said Lionel Johnson will use his intelligence to beat Angron's anger, which he probably.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Does he?
No, he doesn't. He beats him with Bridge Rev.
Oh, that's not.
That's just like bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit. You can't have somebody beat.
Do you know what it is? Khan's too busy trying to attempt Farsight. He dropped the ball and wasn't paying attention to his ball.
Yeah, Khan's not paying attention. Now that's the problem. It's Khan's fault.
Yeah,
it's fucking Khan, man. I shouldn't say that. That's my chaos god.
Look,
I am a world eaters.
He does not care where the blood flows from, as long as it just flows.
So that was the first day. The Leviathan, I'm actually thinking I'm going to get the Leviathan box. I think I am actually going to get it, especially if I can't get any tickets to AEW.
Yeah.
Because the money that I've saved for those, I'm just going to...
Which pre-sales have already gone on sale.
On live today.
And on Friday.
Friday is when the actual tickets. That's why I'm going to get up very early on Friday. Go to the cash machine to make sure I've got enough, and then we're going to see how much the closest tickets to the rings are and see if I can afford it.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, back to Warhammer Fest. So they did that. Mm-hmm. So they had all the Warhammer 40k stuff. They did have a roadmap of what's coming out.
Yeah.
But to be fair, unlike other roadmaps that you see for the games of this is potentially what's coming. This was much more like this is all pretty much sorted. We're just waiting for the time to come out.
Especially the actual releases for like models and rules and etc. Games Workshop are pretty like, this is the schedule. This is what's coming and this is when it's coming out. They don't announce anything.
They never really announce anything.
It's not like EA or Blizzard or Microsoft when they go, well, this is our roadmap, and then 3 weeks later, we've kind of missed the roadmap, but don't worry, it is coming eventually. Or for Overwatch 2, you are going to get PvE, we promise.
You're going to get co-op, I swear.
You are, honest.
So, yeah.
Still no announcement of when that's going to
come. Let's see if I can remember what's coming. I do remember the codexes. So we're going to get a new Orcs codex, a new Tau codex, a new Chaos Space Marines codex, which I'm looking forward to. Obviously, we'll get a new Space Marine and new...
Yeah, they're making individual codexes for the different chapters as well.
Yes.
Which is good, because then you can have the box, the standard one.
You can buy the...
because one of the big selling points for Warhammer 40k and all its other variations is the ability to create your own army.
Yeah.
With its own backstory and all that. And that as long as they keep that, they should be fine.
Chaos Space Marines, Orcs, Tyranids, Tau, and obviously Space Marines. Dark Angels. Dark Angels is the first revamped codex that's coming out.
Yeah.
Because obviously Orcs and... So the thing that annoys me the most about all this is that I've literally just got the World Eaters Codex.
Yeah,
and you're changing the rules on me.
Right, the thing is though is that if I remember correctly, some of the codexes that have just come out should still
they're still
compatible.
Yeah.
They're compatible with 10th edition.
So that's fine. That's fine. But I'm still a bit annoyed. It's still a bit annoying because I'm just like, God damn it. But I've got the Tau Codex as well. And the new one's coming out. Oh my God damn it. God fucking damn it.
It's like all my codexes are out of date.
Yours are way out of date.
They are miles out of date.
I think yours are all 4th edition.
Yeah, they're all 4th edition.
Yeah, you need.
They're all 4th edition or earlier.
What you need to do is you need to decide which army you're gonna collect, and then just get that codex.
It'll probably be Space Marines.
There you go. Get that one.
It'll probably be Space Marines.
Well,
although
if you do,
I do look at the Imperial Guard, especially the Steel Legion, and go, I could have an army full of tanks.
Yeah, you could.
And potentially also a Baneblade.
Yeah, you could.
Why should I not have that?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Then.
Well, then my bank account comes around and says, "This is why."
No, this is not. This is why. Well, if you do decide that you want to get the Space Marines, I'll get the Leviathan box, and you can just have the.
Yeah.
You can have the Space Marines one.
It's a good start.
All the models in the Leviathan box are you don't have to glue them.
No,
they're all push.
All the clippables.
Clip-ins. Yeah.
Oh.
So
they've gone.
I know for a lot of like
they've gone from metal to plastic and now to clipping. Now,
I know a lot of diehard. Like I've seen a lot of YouTubers when they were watching this, and they were like, a lot of people do not like the clip on things. I'm in the camp of like, I don't care.
Here's the thing: for those people who are like proper modelers who take basically kit bash stuff. I don't think it'll affect them in a sense that they can't.
Of what I can see, of what I've seen when I've seen pictures, like if you're good enough to like cut that little bit off that clips on, because it's like a little thing that sticks out, and you can clip it in, right? If you're good enough to cut that off, right, you shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that those people who do like the modelling and do their own customization on their models.
Oh, the Golden Demon winners, you mean?
Yeah, those people. I think one, it'll be. I can understand their point that like it at the start can restrict their creativity, but I'm pretty sure they'll be able to find ways. As long
as they're not resin, I do not like the resin models. Because I feel like the resin models restrict you and how you want to
like
pose
the metal ones.
the metal ones.
The old metal ones.
They restrict you on what you can and can't do to like pose your model.
Yeah.
Like because I know Angron I think is a resin model, which is kind of a little bit upsetting. But plus also painting a resin model is so much harder than painting a plastic model. Believe me, I know. But yeah, it seems that they're going much more. Almost everything's going plastic by the looks of things, which is what they should be doing. In all honesty, because they've just brought out, at least in the Horus Heresy, they've showed off knights, which are usually resin models because of how big they are.
Yeah.
But this one is it's plastic. It's all plastic, so you can pose it in whichever way you want, which is really cool.
Yeah.
They showed on the second day. They showed off Old World. They're bringing the Old World back, which got a huge pop.
Understandably so. I still have the map of the Old World on my wall.
Yes.
In my room. I still have in my bedroom. It's still there. It is going to stay there until I am no longer in that room. Because the Old World is so
They only showed off 2 models of what we know are coming. Tomb Kings. They showed off basically a.
Is it a Hasrashin? I can't remember how you pronounce it.
The leader, the head officer guy, and they showed off a Bretonnian paladin.
Yeah, the Bretonnians and the Tomb Kings are the first
which is not surprised because to be fair, in Warhammer Fantasy, Tomb Kings and Bretonnia, I think the 2 most popular.
Well, Bretonnia is not one of the most popular.
Near the end of the end
After
times,
they got reworked, they were.
They
got much more
Tomb
popular.
Kings and Bretonnian were.
But Tomb Kings is easily one of the best.
Tomb Kings is, in my opinion, next to the Lizard Men, because the Lizard Men are awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Tomb Kings are the best. Faction.
Their aesthetic is amazing.
They're so cool. Anything to do with ancient Egypt.
They have a
awesome.
bone catapult.
Yeah.
That not only fires bones, but it's made out of
bones. Yeah. They can. I mean, what happens when they run out of bones to throw? They just use the catapult. Throw the catapult.
And considering the fact that the vast majority of the army is made out of bones, they will never run out of ammunition.
Exactly. But no, the whole aesthetic for the Tomb Kings is just. And
they nailed that.
And also they have a character called Cetra who is awesome.
Yeah.
And Cetra does not serve.
No, he does not.
He does not. So we had that, and then we had some of the Horus Heresy stuff that they showed off. Like I said, the Knight of the plastic ones. We didn't see. No, they've announced that there is going to be a new Primarch model coming for the Horus Heresy, not for 40k. Which is understandable because we literally just got Lionel Johnson. So we're not going to get another Primarch.
By the way, the model for him looks.
His model is awesome. Why you would not have him with the hood up, because let's be honest, Lionel Johnson is an edgelord.
Yes, he is a paranoid edgelord.
He's a paranoid edgelord, but an edgelord nonetheless. Why you would have him without the hood, I do not know.
It's to separate him from Cypher.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what it is. It's to separate him from Cypher.
Yeah, Warhammer Fest was really good this year. It was really, really good. A lot of cool stuff. That I haven't watched the Kill Team stream because apparently there's some really cool stuff in Kill Team coming. A brand new Eldar Kill Team.
Ooh.
Which
in one sense,
the thing is, Kill Team always have the best models, in my opinion. They always
I know,
have much more.
My thing with Kill Team is that it was originally set up so that you didn't have to spend all the money on the armies. You could just buy a patrol, and use that to play games. And it's gone into this whole different thing, and it's just
yeah, it's much more. It's kind of like what Necromunda used to be.
Yeah. And I'm like, God damn it!
It's just you have I think six members in your team.
Yeah, 6 people in your team.
You go off and
do missions.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's that.
Yeah,
I think it's much more like that, which I think is cool. I actually prefer that.
Well, that was still the original premise, but it was basically you could just buy a single box set.
Oh
of
yeah,
Space
you
Marines,
could. You could buy a Space Marine set and just use
there's your Kill Team.
Yeah.
Now it's its own thing, and I'm like, there's so much money to spend already. Don't make. That was your phone.
It's a new phone. Okay, it's new.
It's probably telling you I'm fully charged now. Hello. Anyway,
I don't know. I think we'll end on that. Yeah, but ending it on some good news there.
Yeah, Warhammer Fest was really good. Games Workshop is still do better.
The fact that they've cut the price of their opening box for people to get into.
Yeah.
Is really good. Yeah. Considering what you get in there.
And they've brought back the thing that everyone was wanting. The old world is back.
Yeah, they're bringing back the old world.
Which means I get to have my dreams of marching out in an army that looks reminiscent to to the Holy Roman Empire.
I think they announced 5 armies altogether. I think it was Tomb Kings, Bretonnian, which are the ones that we saw a couple of models for. Obviously orcs, because you can't have Warhammer without the orcs.
No, you can't.
Empire, and I think Vampire Counts was the other one that was announced. They did say something about Chaos, but time-wise and lore-wise, Chaos aren't in the old times. Chaos aren't really a big thing.
Well, they're not as big as they were. Not the biggest thing as per they were in the end times.
Yeah.
But they're still a faction. They're still the
chaos.
The Chaos Wastes in the north is still there.
That's what I mean. They're not the Chaos armies aren't like Archon's not there.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. That's what I mean. Those characters are not there yet. Because I'm pretty sure Archon is the end times when he
Archon is the coming of the end times.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, all's good in that front, and it's just nice to talk. To be fair, it's nice to talk about Warhammer. I like talking about Warhammer.
Yeah. And also talking good things about Warhammer.
Yeah, it's nice to talk about Warhammer and not be like, oh my god, they're charging you so much for this tiny little bit. Or Games Workshop being dicks.
It's nice to do that.
It's nice to do that. So, yeah, anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this chat, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.
Toodles.